Hello everyone. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to use variable and data types in Java with the help of simple examples. For you to do well in your coding skills, you must know how to make use of variables and data types. And I have here the definition of variable. Variable is a data storage or a container that stores data such as numbers, text, true or false values. You must also know the rules to declare variable. The first one is your variable name must be meaningful. Your variable is created from the problem you want to solve. Secondly, your variable name can begin with letter or underscore or dollar, followed by any other letter, numbers, or underscore. Go through the remaining rules to get more understanding. Then the other part is data type. Data type describes the type of values and size that a variable can store. The following are the categories of data type. We have primitive data type, which are predefined data types that comes with Java, and we have non-primitive data type. These are data types that are created by users, but we'll focus on primitive data type. I have categorized these primitive data type into four. The data type that stores whole numbers, they are called bytes, short, int, long. The one that stores decimal numbers are float, double. The one that stores string of characters are called string. Take note, string data type always starts with capital letter S. Then the other one is char. Then the one that stores true or false values, which can also be called yes or no, or you can call it on or off values. The data type for that, or the data type associated with that, is Boolean. Let me show you a diagram to give you more understanding on variable. In this diagram, I have 5 containers. The first container have a value 25 and 4. Look at it this way. Whenever you operate your calculator, you type 3 minus 1. It gives you the answer 2. The person that wrote the programming language for that calculator has used a variable such that when a user press 3, a variable will store that 3 temporarily, and when a user press 1, another variable in the calculator will store 1. And when you click equals to, an operation is carried out between 3 and 1 to produce 2. With that in mind, let us look at this first container, which contains whole numbers 25 and 4. To declare a data type for this kind of value, we make use of int or long. The second container contains decimal numbers 3.14, 16.2, and decimal numbers of your choice. The data type to be associated with these will be float or double. The third container contains characters which are embedded in double quotes. Tutor. The second one is I, Bob. The data type to be assigned to this container should be string. Here's the fourth container, which contains single character and it is embedded in single quotes. The type of data type to be assigned to this type of value should be char, C-H-A-R. Finally, the fifth container contains a box and a value accept. Anytime you are filling form online, there is a place that will tell you to tick to accept to terms and conditions. Once you tick, a value has been activated and such value is referred to as yes or is referred to as true. If you don't tick, the form remains as false or no, and you will not be able to proceed from where you are. So to assign a data type to this type of value, we make use of Boolean. Now, let us go and implement the code for these 5 containers. So let's open a file. I want to call my class name variable OP, that is variable operation. So let's start. Let's say we want to print, I want to print my YouTube channel name. I need to give it a variable name. But before that, here's the syntax. You have to start with the data type followed by the variable name and you terminate with semicolon. So for my name, let me put a comment here so that it will not reflect by the time we run our code. So I start with my name. So the name I want to give my variable is tutorial name. I'm need that with semicolon. Then I want to display the age of my friend. Age will store whole number. So for that reason, I'll be using the data type int, then followed by the variable name age. Then I want to create a variable to store pi value 3.14. Then I'll be using double. Then the variable name I want to use there is pi. If you like, I use PIE. If you like, I use p, but I want to use pi. Terminate that. Then I want to create a variable for your initial name, and that data type will be char. Then the variable name I want to use there is initial. And finally, I want to create a variable such that when the user take a bus, the form should be accepted. Then that variable, the data type to be used there is Boolean. And we are to pass, I want to use the variable is accept. And the next thing, we need to assign values to each variable that we declare. To assign value to this variable, tutorial name, we have to use the assignment operator, which is equals to sign, then followed by the value that you want to pass. So since this is a string type, we'll be using double quote to pass my tutorial name, and that is dmarc tutor. Then here, the age I want to pass, let's say 18. Here the value of pi that I want to pass, and let's say 3.14. And the initial I want to pass, remember we have to use single quotes. I want to pass my initial, which is B. And finally here, I want to pass the value true. So with this, we have been able to declare 5 variables: tutorial name, age, pi, initial, accept. And we have also been able to assign values to each variable. And assigning values to each variable is called initialization. Now the next thing, let us display our output. To display the output, remember you have to use system. Your system must start with capital letter, followed by out, followed by print. Then you open the brackets. Let us make this time around. Let me make your print line. Print ln. Ln means line. So it should print all output on a new line. Now, whenever you want to pass a variable into the bracket, you must not put your variable in double quotes, because whatever is in double quote, that is what the print line method or the print method will show. So for that reason, you don't put variables in double quotes. You write the name as it is in the bracket. Then the second variable is age. Permit me to copy and paste, so that will be age. The next variable is pi, pi. The next variable is initial, and the last variable is accept. Save, and let us run the code. You can see the output: dmarc tutor 18, 3.14, B, and true. At the beginning, I said a variable can also start with underscore. So let us test here. Let's put underscore here and edit our code in line 17. Put underscore. That rule is valid. A variable can also start with $sign. So I put $sign here too, which is still valid. Now let's run the code to test that. You can see that we still follow the rules of variable. However, let us put space between is and accept and see what happens. Let's run the code and see what happens. It shows us an error. You can see the error. Accept cannot be resolved to a variable, and that is because we violate the rule that says space must not be between your variables. If you want to put space between is and accept, the only thing you can do is to insert underscore in between them, and that is a valid rule. So let's run our code again. So you can see we have been able to make use of variable and data type to store different values of our choice. See you in the next tutorial.